Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Goaltending, where your why is bigger than your excuses. I'm your host, Will Bland, and today we are diving into having a positive mindset. Before we get into that, though, I do want to say thank you for tuning in and allowing me to be a part of your journey. You know, if you've listened before, this is not about just listening to a podcast. This is about finding something that you can take away and take action on to apply to your journey. So I want to challenge you to do that today. Find something in it that you can take away and start to apply. And then the ask is just like, subscribe. If you enjoy it, leave a 5-star review and share it with somebody else to help them grow. It's all about making a difference and making an impact. So today's episode was inspired by a question that somebody who reached out to me, and they said, Will, how are you always just so positive? You seem to be positive all the time. How do you do that and maintain positivity? And really, what changed your mindset to thinking positive all the time? And first off, I want to say I'm not positive all the time. I have down days. I have times where I'm not positive. I'm not happy, and that's okay, because it's all right to feel all kinds of emotions. It's not just about being positive all the time. But what I want to share first is like where this journey started for me and how I got to where I am now, to being able to maintain positivity more often. So when I was in college, I was not positive all the time. I actually had quite a bit of anger problems that I was dealing with. And a lot of it was tied to my childhood. But ultimately, I found myself angry far more often than I wanted to be. And I did not like that. I remember looking in the mirror, upset with myself, just tears of anger, and saying, like, this is not the person that I want to be. And it really just kind of fell into my lap one day. I recognized that, and I was traveling and in an airport, and I had time to kill, and I walked past the bookstore and I see a book titled Anger. And when I saw that, it really just spoke to me, and I said, I'm going to get that book. I have time to kill, and I'm just going to check it out and explore, because I know that I've been angry and I don't want to be angry. And what that book opened my mind to is not that I needed to stop being angry, but that I needed to learn how to recognize my anger and process it differently. So it's not about not being angry. It's about recognizing the anger, feeling it, but then how do you respond to the anger? How do you let it impact the actions that you take? And then on top of that, what seeds are you watering? So I was angry a lot, and I was putting a lot of my time and my focus toward the anger. So I'm watering the seeds of that anger, which is allowing the anger to continue to grow and to continue to take over my life and prevent the growth of other positive emotions. So when I recognized that, I started to put more deliberate and intentional focus toward positive emotions. I started to water the seeds of positive emotions and happiness and gratitude. And when I started to put my focus on those emotions instead of my anger, it's not that I wasn't angry anymore. It was that I was helping the positive emotions grow to where the anger was still there and I could feel it when it happened, but I was able to process it differently and in a more healthy and effective way that was not harmful to my mental well-being. So I want to challenge you to do that. Like, if you're finding yourself down, if you're finding yourself angry or sad or any kind of negative emotion, first off, understand it's okay to feel that. It's not about eliminating those emotions. It's about recognizing them when you feel them. And then understanding how you respond to them, asking yourself questions about why you feel that way and really exploring it. And then once you do recognize those, it's okay to move on. So recognize it, feel it, and then move on. And put your focus on the positive emotions like gratitude, which can help you to grow and help to lift you out of the times when you're in those negative mind states. And then I want to get into, there's a book that I really loved, actually 2 books. So there's Success Mindsets and The Elevated Leader. They're both written by Ryan Gottfredson. I've had him on the podcast before as a guest, and I really love his books. But there's a piece from it that really stands out when it comes to this topic. And that's, Ryan talked about that in childhood, we develop mindsets to protect ourselves. So depending on what environment you're in, you may need a different mindset to protect yourself as a child. But then as you get into adulthood, as you get into marriage and new relationships and parenthood and working in a professional environment, the mindset that you developed as a child, that you developed to protect yourself, may no longer suit your needs. It may no longer be suitable to your current environment. So the goal is to look at, okay, what is my actual mindset? And do I only have this mindset because I developed it in childhood to protect myself? And if so, like, does it still serve me? Like, is it still something that's valuable? Is it still something that's helping me strive toward my goals? And if it's not, then you start to evaluate, okay, how can I make an adjustment? How can I start to shift this mindset in a way that is productive toward what I need? And so I want to share an example to that, which is in my early 20s, I constantly said, I don't want to get married and I don't want to have kids. And those were very much tied to the mindset that I developed in childhood from the things that I had seen. So I grew up around a lot of divorce. My mom was divorced and remarried multiple times. My brother was divorced and married multiple times. A lot of adult presences in my life had unhealthy relationships and went through divorce. So it's something that I saw a lot growing up. So there's two things to that. One is I didn't want to have kids because I didn't want to take a chance of putting them through the things that I went through growing up. So part of it was I don't have to worry about protecting kids from that if I just don't have kids. And I don't want to get married because I can love someone and I can spend my life with them without having a piece of paper to tell me that we love each other. And I had saw so much divorce and so many unhealthy relationships that I was worried about once I get married, that's what the relationship is going to be. So my mindset was developed to protect myself. Don't get married and you don't have to go through the divorce. You don't have to go through the unhealthy and dysfunctional relationships that you saw growing up. And if you don't have kids, you don't have to worry about having kids that go through the same things that you went through. So it was all a mindset meant to protect myself, but it no longer suited me because I found a woman that I loved and I found a woman that cared about marriage and about having kids and grew up in a very different environment. So didn't see those things that I went through and saw the positivity and saw the good things that would come from marriage and from having kids together and from being able to mold and grow and teach them together. And it took a long time, but I ultimately ended up realizing that, and I ultimately ended up shifting that mindset that was developed to protect myself, but no longer served me in adulthood. So there's another challenge. Look at it is what you're fighting against. Are you only fighting against it because the mindset you developed to protect yourself is no longer serving you, so it's holding you back? If that's the case, figure out what you need to do to make that mindset shift and start to get to where you want to be. And then I'll bring one more thing into the conversation. That's the things that you tell yourself in your mind. So do you say, I don't want to be here? Like, let's say work, for example, like I don't want to go to work today. I don't want to be here. Or do you tell yourself, I get to be here, or I want to be here, or it's actually a privilege and it's benefiting me to be here? That is a significant mindset difference that will change your positivity level. Because first off, if you're going to work every day and you're telling yourself you don't want to be there, how are you going to interact with people? When somebody asks you how your day is, you're like, oh, it's just another day. I'm just here because I have to be. I'm just here so I don't get fined, right? And when I was first getting into the National Guard, I joined for a lot of reasons were for the benefits. But what I found is that early on, I was not happy. And I wasn't going because I wanted to be there. I was going because I felt like I had to be there. Like I signed up for this obligation. I'm getting the benefits. I have to be here. And I often dreaded going in for drill weekends. Like I didn't look forward to it at all. I showed up, I did what I needed to do, but ultimately my mindset was not in the right place because I was telling myself like I didn't want to be there. There's other things I would rather be doing this weekend. You know, I would rather be at that birthday party. I'd rather be hanging out with friends. Focused on all of the things that were completely contradictory toward having a positive mindset. So I'm focused on all of these things that are not serving me. They're not helping me be productive there. They're not helping with building relationships with the people that I work with. And they were not helping with being positive or having a positive mindset. It took several years of this until I finally realized, like, I have gained and grown, like gained so many benefits and grown so much from this opportunity to serve. And what I would find is at first it transitioned from dreading going into the weekend to where I started to realize, you know, I actually had fun connecting with the people there. And I actually like learned some great things this weekend. And then the next weekend I would focus on that. Oh, you know, you dreaded going in last time, but you actually like enjoyed the interactions with people. You actually enjoyed the things you were learning. And I started to slowly shift to that. And then I started to focus more on like the benefits you're getting from this, you know, are lifting you up. You now are starting to have that more positive mindset, but you are starting to be able to apply the discipline that you're learning and using there. And you're starting to be able to apply that to your life. And I started to find all these benefits, all the good things. I started to put my focus and attention on those, on the good things, on the benefits, on the positive things, on the relationships. And then I started to look forward to going in. Then I started to say, like, I get to be here. It's an honor to be here. It's a privilege. Like I'm learning something new every time. I'm building a new relationship and interacting with different people every time. I'm finding ways to help an organization to grow into the best version of itself that it can be. And so are you doing that already? Or are you in the mindset where you're going because you feel like you have to? Are you doing certain things because you feel like you have to? And if that's how you're approaching anything, you're not going to have a positive mindset going into it. And you're not going to be as positive and effective in those moments as you could be. And so identify the times when you're doing that. And then ask yourself, are there good things from this? Is there something good I can take away? Is this an opportunity to build a relationship? Is it an opportunity to learn something new? Is it an opportunity to work on something for myself that I already know, but I want to improve at? If you can start to focus on those things, like what are these positive things that I can take from this situation, this scenario, from going to work, whatever it is, and you find those positive things, you hone in on them, and that is what you focus your mind toward. And when you can shift your mind to that, that is going to bring the positivity you're looking for. That is going to bring the productivity that you're looking for, and it's going to help you grow in the long term. So I want to challenge you all to look at all of those things today, to shift that mindset, and you will start to see a difference in the positivity that you feel and maintaining that positivity in your life. So take something away, start to take action on that. I want to thank you all so much again for tuning in and allowing me to be a part of your journey. If you enjoyed the episode, go share it. Okay. If it makes a difference for your life, it can make a difference in someone else's life. So like and subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and comment with your thoughts and questions to join the conversation, and let's grow together.